Hello, I am Citizen Sleeve, and welcome to Talking Title Screens, a long-neglected series of mine that I thought it was about time to bring back. I started this maybe a few years or more ago, and I think it's quite unique because essentially it's an on-the-fly deconstruction of a video game title screen. Now, title screens are very important to games, I think, because they're our way in to that particular world. It's our first point of contact, whether that's starting the game from fresh or re-engaging with the game and returning to that particular world. What's so unique about title screens is the way they present the fundamentals of that particular game to us, whether it's narrative, whether it's iconography, whether it's aesthetic, or whether it's meaning based. I've done quite a lot in the past, but I thought this would be a wonderful one to start the series again with. Now, as ever, if you spot something I don't, or you think you've picked up on a thing that I haven't quite talked about, by all means, chuck it in the comments. So let's dive in to Bioshock's title screen then. Now, on the left-hand side there, you can see a plane which is sinking into the water, and the water of the sea is bubbling away. We can see the smoke passing in from a left-hand side to the right-hand side of the screen, showing us the direction we should be going from the plane, and that's how we start the actual game itself. That flashing light to make sure it's more prominent, and of course the embers from the crash and the fire that are coming across that side as well. And what that does is drag our view from the left-hand side of the screen across to the right. You've got the sea gently moving, and you've got that lighthouse, that tower on the right-hand side, this massive structure that is essentially our way into Rapture, the underwater city in Bioshock. You've got the lights there on the steps at the bottom of the lighthouse with the rocks to the right in the dark, and those other lights leading up to that golden blazoned door and the tower raising off into the sky. We've got the moon, almost centre of the screen at the back there, and you can see that casting light down towards that middle bottom water part of the centre of the bottom of the screen, and then the clouds and the starlight just on the left hand side into the middle there. Now, when you start the game, this pretty much shows you exactly how you will start it. You swim from the crashed plane, through the water, avoiding the fire, up onto the steps where you see those lights that guide us into that lighthouse. Then you end up in a bathysphere, and we delve into the world of Rapture in one of the greatest openings to a game I think there's ever been. So let's talk specifically about the actual title design itself. Now, Rapture is this dystopian, dilapidated, ruined, former great, wonderful, utopian, idyllic, idealistic city that existed outside the norms of society. But the title reflects what's happened to Rapture and why it's now this dystopia. You can see the worn metal. You can see the rust over the Art Deco city below the actual title itself. You can see the mildew and the grime and the rust that is kind of dripping off that main title and surrounded itself in that core design. And what that does is give us not only a sense of the way Rapture is now, its fall from grace, if you like, but also the opening of the game. So the crash plane combined with the way the light works and the way we're being pushed from a left-hand side to the right in terms of the way the title screen wants us to look across the title screen. And then you've got this sense of dilapidation, this ruinous element that's happened to this place, all captured within that one particular design title. It's designed beautifully, the title for Bioshock, and it really gives you a sense of what you're about to get into or what you're about to re-enter when you do re-engage with that wonderfully designed underwater city of Rapture. The lovely way that ornate door draws you in, the lights round it for the bottom of what seems like this massive, huge lighthouse on the right-hand side. It really makes you feel like you want to enter this place, enter this new environment, this new world for the first time. And then you get that sense of foreboding with the title itself. What's happened to this place? It raises questions. You've got the cast of the fire just lighting up that left-hand side of the Bioshock title, just to illuminate it a little bit as well. We'll come down below there. You've got the start game, which is just flashing in that, again, quite Art Deco style of font. just to give it a nice pop, so you know that's the starting point of the game. When you press that, you'll engage in the world and start from wherever you were. It's one of those title things that captures the thematics, the aesthetic, and the overall narrative sense of kind of what's gone, or something has gone wrong in this particular world. And that's about what you're about to delve into and re-engage with. The colour work in this title screen is absolutely marvellous. You can see the different tones of blue from the sky and the sea, and then the cascading light from the moon. You've got the gold, which kind of envelops that door and the ornateness of it, along with the start game. And then obviously you've got the muted greens and the browns with the rust and the mildew on that central title. It's all very cohesive and it's balanced really nicely with the lighting that they've used in this scene. Now let's have a quick listen to the music and the soundscape. Now, as you can hear, you've got that wind kind of caressing the soundscape in the background and moving through the frame. Then you have this dance hall track that fits with the era, but also is slightly discordant and repeating, almost like it's over the radio. Then we start getting some strings, and this all kind of matches the foreboding nature of the place we're about to go, and cohesively fits in with the rest of the visuals that we have on screen. It starts gently with the wind, it moves into the dancehall music, and then the strings start coming in and become that little bit more oppressive. It works really well as a loop that plays throughout the title screen as you sit within it. This is a beautifully designed title screen. Positionally, just to have the elements on screen placed where they are. We've already mentioned about dragging your view across to that right-hand side. But the way the lighthouse or tower stretches off into the sky, and you've got those little lights just at the top of the screen to frame it so there's more there. The moon casting the light down to illuminate the frame just a little bit, and the lights all the way around those steps up to that ornate door to where we enter Rapture once we dive into the bathysphere and underwater. It's one of those title screens that captures the essence of the game so wonderfully well. And now a lot of title screens are really good at doing that, but you need to make sure you've got those component parts in place. Everything positionally here is really placed effectively to make sure that you've got a great sense of the kind of thing you're about to get into, both aesthetically and also in terms of the feeling of the game. The audio combines well with the visuals, the lighting is really effective, and the music has that calm, quite melancholy, foreboding sense, and then kind of ramps up a bit, and then just calms down again. And that's very much what Bioshock is like when you play it. You have these moments when it's quite calm and it ramps up and then it's calm again. So all these elements, both audible, visual, positional, the choice of font, and that wonderful main title that's just an Art Deco city that's just rusted out and fallen from the once great, unusual landscape of Rapture that it was. Everything works well and everything works beautifully cohesively in this particular title screen to just get you in the mood for what you're about to dive into. Right, that's been the first talking title screens I have done in a very long time indeed. If you've got any that you would like me to cover, any title screen from any game that I happen to have, I'd be more than happy to do a talking title screens on that particular game. So by all means, chuck that in the comments. And again, if you've got any bits that you think I've missed or stuff that I haven't quite spotted, chuck it in the comments and we can have a chat about it. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit that like button. If you disliked the video, hit that dislike button. And if you really like the video or my stuff, consider subbing to the channel and maybe spreading the word. You can find me as Citizen Sleeve on Twitter and all social media stuff, and of course over on Twitch, where at the minute I'm streaming ESO and I'll be getting into Psychonauts 2 very soon indeed. This has been Talking Title Screens. Take it easy. I shall see you very soon.